Hello. Welcome everybody to our new month and the latest episode of the Council of Light and their channeled message. I am Laura West. I am a Reiki master teacher and an herbalist and a psychic medium and a channel for the divine. And you are with me here now in my home office as I get ready to channel the Council of Light for you. I've been channeling them since 2010, and you can check out all my database, the vault of all their past messages on my website. And it's just been a joy and a pleasure to bring them through to all of you. And it's taken many iterations over the years. I used to do, before the tech that we have now, I used to speak into a little tiny digital voice recorder and transcribe it and post it as an audio blog on my website. And then it turned into a podcast. And now it has this video component. And each month I go back and I edit so that there is the video with subtitles for you and a transcript for those of you who prefer to read, and the podcast for those of you who prefer to listen. And so, without further ado, I will stop my talking and invite the Council of Light to come through and talk with you. I'm going to close my eyes so that they can share their wisdom. And then I will come back live on this space with you when they're done. Greetings to you all, you bright, blessed beings there on that earth plane. We are the Council of Light, and we are here once again to share with you all the tips and tricks and tools and love and knowledge and insight and guidance and wisdom that we have to share with you as humans, for you walk a tricky path in that thing called life. And we are the effervescence of light and spiritual source. And we always keep tabs, and we always share, and we always look forward to imparting these moments of pause for you so that you can rest and nourish and listen and heal and rejuvenate from intaking our messages. Some of you like to listen to our messages in auditory form. Some of you like to read our messages. Some of you like to watch us as we perform through the vocal cords of the woman that we come to you through. And some of you have a mix where you feel like you like all three or a couple of the versions, and you go back and forth. You're each an individual that is unique, with a preference and a learning style and an information subitizing pathway that is just right for you. And that's why we've offered all of our wisdom to you throughout all of the time that we've been coming to you through this woman's voice box in these different iterations. We are excited by the technology as it is changing on the earth plane, and humans are evolutionarily moving at a fast clip with your ability to connect with each other globally with fingertips touching buttons and instantaneously connecting. It's something that we see in this place of spirit that we reside in that is connected between you all already, but you don't remember that you're already all connected because you are cut off from each other with physical location disparities. What we mean by you are already all connected is that you all come from the same source of soul kind. You're not all from the same soul groups. We've talked to you about your soul groups before. Go back and find our messages and wisdom on that in past discourse that we've shared with you. What we mean by soul kind is that the human mind and the human body and the human personality that becomes each human being in this lifetime, or the lifetimes of the generations that came before you, or the lifetimes of the generations that are going to come after you, is a specific type of soul that is very unique to your version of inherent life force form. There are other groups of consciousness that are living individual lives in the universe or the universes that have different identifications. They are not identified as human like you are, and yet they have individual personalities, and they have individual desires, and they have individual lessons to learn and skills to master and things to practice as they grow on their continuums, just like you grow on yours. They go by any number of different names. We are not going to list them here because there's too many, but some of your psychic mediums and channels that are open and connected to source have brought some, just a drop in the bucket actually, some of them through as voice to you as humans over the decades and the centuries and the millennia. In the far distant past, the way that your channelers that were connected to source energy would bring the knowledge through to you would be by writing it down in book form, and then in lecture talk, and then in recorded talk as your technology has grown and progressed. Now you can do a simple internet search and use a key term and find many, many, many people that are bringing the voices and the wisdom and the information and the clarity of other life force that has intelligence that wishes to speak to you as humans through to you. There's all kinds of life force out there, actually, that is doing the same thing you are doing, living its life, moving forward in its lesson learning and growing in each of its iterations of its reincarnations. Some of it is more advanced than yours. Some of it is less advanced than yours as an evolutionary species called humans. The more advanced, some of them are completely ignoring you. They want nothing to do with you because they don't care. They're just on an information knowledge gathering harmony journey that is just theirs and theirs alone. And then there are others that have come through as wisdom providers or as knowledge givers just simply because they're entertained and they want to share. It's as if they're being good neighbors and they live in their own house and they have their own property and their own dwelling, but yet they come out to say hello to you when it's time to put out the trash, or they wave at you when it's time to collect the mail from the mailbox. You all know the kind of neighbors we're talking about. You have friendly neighbors and you have neighbors that keep to themselves. And so the life force that we are talking about here that has its own intelligence is like that as well. It runs the gamut. Some of it is still in amoeba-like form, swimming around in zooplankton-like energy qualities, and others is so masterfully advanced with its creation vibration that it doesn't need to take any kind of tactile physical shape, and yet it has firm, clear identity. You humans are somewhere in between. There are those of you who are very base and elemental in your thought forms and in your emotional reactions to things and in your ability to navigate the hardships of your lives. And then there are those of you who are playing with the quantum physics of reality, and you are able to split yourselves into two places at once. You can be levitating and meditating in a room in Mumbai and presenting yourselves in a lecture, clear as day, as if you were fully formed in a place in California. It just runs the gamut. It depends on what you want to focus on. It depends on what your past lifetimes have brought you through. It depends on what you're interested in cultivating in this lifetime. Which brings us to another point, actually, about this lifetime. With all of this technology that we have been talking about in today's message, and the ability to champion it, and the ability to connect you all at the drop of a hat, you turn on your phone and you press a button, and suddenly you're connected to thousands of others in a chat or a video or a presentation or a message platform. And yet, at the same time, what we are noticing is happening to you as humans is that you are glossing yourselves over You are numbing yourselves out. You are colluding your mind from its authentic ability to create critical thought forms because you are in consumer mode on autopilot as you are, quote unquote, surfing the web or checking your social media feeds. We want you to remember that it is up to each one of you on an individual level to cultivate a mindful and creative and thoughtful and accurate and purposeful life, moment by moment, day by day. So you might decide to scroll whatever you're looking for information for to pass the time or to find solace or to find commonality. And yet, if all you do is spend hour after hour scrolling and you don't pause to critically think, or you don't pause to take in that knowledge and absorb it as information that helps you move your needle of the continuum of your own journey through this life, or you don't take time after the scroll to breathe deeply and say, oh, that was a nice time out from my day-to-day doings. I feel refreshed. Let me go back to my process and my creation and my to-do list and checking things off and accomplishing my goals and critical thinking and studying and learning and growing. As a whole, humanity is losing touch with that part of your lives. You're spending a lot more time scrolling as it is and less time engaging with your own ability to harmonize your mind with your soul and your spirit and your intelligence to maximize it and grow it to the best potential that it can have each day that you are alive. We don't say this to chastise you, and we don't say this to discourage you. There are times when it's appropriate for you to, quote unquote, check out, numb out, get lost in somebody else's fodder for a while as a passive observer. But then you need to remember that if you want to live a meaningful, very fulfilling, satisfied life, you need to go back to applying yourselves to your processes, to your attainment of your goals, to your aspirations that were dreams that you turn into reality. There's a smaller and smaller percentage of you as humans that are actually doing that part. And more of you are watching the people who are creating the dreams and turning them into aspirations and tangible physical reality around them. And you're saying, I like that. I can't become that. I want that, but it's not me. So I'm just going to passively scroll and watch this person do it instead. And we're talking in generalities here, but you understand the theme on a global level of our message, the big picture, if you will, of our message. So as you have just come into this quote unquote new year, it is the second month of the year 2024. And you just celebrated a marker in January around the globe of saying goodbye to one time frame and hello to a new time frame. We invite you to take stock at this particular moment. Are you able to feel like you are living the life that you wanted to live a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? Are you living a day-to-day passion and purpose that your inner heartstrings knows is true for you, but maybe doesn't know how to accomplish yet? Are you moving in that direction? Are you already there? You can pause and take stock. And if your answer is yes to any of this big wondering and noticing about your lives, then great job. But if your answer is no, if your answer is, I am not living up to my potential, I know that I could be living a more activated intelligence lifestyle, or a more activated physical lifestyle, or a more activated centered lifestyle, whatever it is you wish to be moving towards, start thinking about the steps you could be taking on an everyday basis to put those plans in place. The hardest part about any journey of accomplishing anything is the actual getting yourself into action, the getting started. Once you get the thing started, whether it's a goal of physical fitness or a goal of taking a course and learning new knowledge or a goal of buying a dwelling or a goal of manifesting a new career change, it doesn't matter what it is. But the hardest part is actually setting yourself up and creating the energy that goes into motion that gets the ball rolling, that then creates the logistics of whatever it is coming into your concreteness of your reality. The iterations and possibilities of the kinds of things that we're talking about here with you today are absolutely endless. And it is mind-blowing how many different options and opportunities you have as a human being every day, all day, that you're awake. So we don't have the opportunity here to share with you any of the possibilities that are yours specifically. If you do want to map that out in a specific way, if you do want help with figuring out the path or the process or the journey, you can speak with us individually. We do provide ourselves with an opening to give you undivided attention one by one through the voice box of the woman that we come through here. And you can do that through her and her work and the way that she has set up her connection to us. This time here, right now that you're listening to, is our way of speaking to humanity writ large. We have messages every month. We cultivate a theme that we wish to discuss with you, and we share it globally and colloquially with all of you all at one time. It's like you're sitting in a giant audience and you're listening to us at a special talk. But if you want to have a private, individualized look at your journey and your path and your process and your life, then you can do that with us on an individual basis. We love helping humans. We have been tasked from the dawns of time by the ultimate creator source service to be a branch of connectedness from source to directly work with humanity to help you move forward on your continuums of growth and learning as you move through a lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is something we've said to you our whole time we've been speaking to you as a major theme. And so, with this now, here today, we are excited to watch you take some time to pause and to thoughtfully think about where you're going, what you're doing, what you want to do, the moves you want to make, the decisions and the choices for the day-to-day shapings of each life. Yes, it's okay to sleep in every once in a while. Yes, it's okay to eat potato chips every once in a while. Yes, it's okay to veg out on the couch every once in a while. But if that becomes your norm every single day, then you're living a slothful, unwillful, very dull life, and you're not living up to your full potential for yourself. We don't try to tell you what to do in your lives, and we don't tell you that you're not doing a good job if you don't do what we're recommending here. We simply have advice and wisdom from the quote unquote other side. We are very evolutionarily advanced forms of light source. And we see the vast potential and the ability that you have to create wonderment and joy and harmony in your lifetime and connect it to others who are doing the same thing there on that earth plane. And we champion you every step of the way. We have been joyfully watching as humanity moves forward on this continuum of evolution, as you continue to grow and move the needle. And as always, we will continue to support you and talk with you and help you as you so wish. And this message here today is just but one example of the many times that we have done so in the past. And so with that, we wish to say thank you so much for listening to our words here today. We are the Council of Light. We wrap you in a golden blanket of light to sustain you and nourish you and keep you ever so tight until we are to speak with you again. Goodbye for now. Adieu and namaste. Okay, wow. Well, that was very nice. I did not know they were going to say any of that. That's very interesting. I have a sense of what they're talking about for my own personal journey through the world. Part of the reason I am able, as Laura West, the human being, to bring them so clearly through each month to you and in my session work with clients to you is because I have followed some of the advice that they were talking about today in my own personal journey through life. I have very clear goals. I have very clear rubrics for attaining those goals. I have scaffolds for outcomes that I wish to manifest and create in my life. I've had chapters that were sort of immediate or very front and center in my life, like weeks at a time to accomplish things. And I've had sort of tenure tracks and then lifetime tracks and overview tracks of how I want my life to be lived. And it's just something that has served me so well. And it's allowed me to become a path of a voice and a connector and a service for this part of source that calls itself the Council of Light, and to bring them through so clearly. I set up my sacred connection to source with intention all those years ago. And I continue to cultivate that on a personal level every day so that they can clearly come through my voice box and I can hear them like a ticker tape running like the news feeds across my brain, even though I'm talking to you and going grocery shopping and helping my family with our domestic routines of the day and schedules of the week and all those things. And so it's interesting to think about how you can begin to champion what they were saying for yourselves. Not all of you are going to go down a spiritual path like me. You have other aspirations in your lives. You have other things that light up your creative juice boxes. And it helps to take a pause, like they were just saying. So I'm always available to do session work with you. As many of you know, I work out of my holistic healing office in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I offer online and in-person session work. I offer Reiki sessions and Reiki classes. The classes are live in my Cambridge office every semester and then over the summer. But I also have a version of online classes that are evergreen and you can take them at any time. I offer herbalism knowledge and specific health supports and sacred spiritual connection supports through the use of essential oils. That's the herbalism part of my work. And then I offer all of these psychic intuitive development classes and psychic channeled message spiritual guidance source sessions for you on an individual level. And it's just a joy to be able to share with you the gifts that have been bestowed upon me and give them to you as offerings so that you can move your needles in your lives to do whatever it is that you wish to be doing and creating as you go. Thank you so much, dear ones. It has been such a pleasure and a joy to be with you, hanging out in this space and in this way with you today. I look forward to our next rendezvous together, whether you're listening to another episode of the channeled messages that I come through with, or you attend this month's psychic and spiritual development class in my Cambridge office. That's coming up in a week or so, actually. So if you're interested in joining us for that live, it's not online, unfortunately, so you have to live in the area to come, but please do register for that. I also have a Reiki, self-Reiki protocol class that's coming up in a couple of weeks that is being offered live online. So if you live anywhere in the world, you're welcome to join us. I practice Reiki in a specific way, and it is beneficial for those of you who are attuned or in the flow of the system of Reiki, and you want some time to be immersed in that cultivated space of giving yourself Reiki. I lead us through some protocols, and it is a lovely, lovely, lovely pause. It's 2 hours, and we get to touchstone our own energy and in a group connected way, just feel so blissed out by the end of it for ourselves. It's a lovely gift that we give ourselves. And I love it because I am facilitating space for others, but I'm also giving Reiki to myself. So it's a win-win. Anyway, okay, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to wish you all many blessings and have a great rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you again soon.